But deprived of leading batsman Darryl Cullinan and their best spinner Paul Adams through injury, South Africa would have known they couldn't afford a subpar performance against a side that had not lost a home series since 1987. India had their injury problems too, which meant a debut test for Wasim Jaffer at the top of the order. Alan Donald ensured his first innings at the top level was short-lived, clipping his off-stump via a faint inside edge. A loose drive from Laxman was pouched by the recalled Clive Eckstein in the gully, which brought Tendulkar to the crease in the 20th over. Both he and Rahul Dravid looked in good touch against the pace attack until Donald pierced Dravid's defences with a beauty.
Oh, it's bowling! Beautiful bowling, the off-stumps down.
The rest of the innings was all about Tendulkar. Unperturbed by his various partners' failures, he feasted on whatever came his way. Eckstein's left-arm spin was particularly to his liking.
That's pulled away, short and hammered away.
Another short delivery and smashed away again, beautifully done.
2 wickets in 2 balls from Hansie Cronje dented India's hopes of a big score despite Tendulkar's continued fine form. A farcical run-out accounted for Kumble.
It's well played. Oh yes, he wants one. That's good running, Sachin. Oh, and oh, that could be out. This could be a run out.
But the key wicket of the Indian captain came 6 runs later to a leg-side tickle off Kallis. Tendulkar's regal innings of 97 included 12 fours and 2 sixes. Srinath went next ball, but an unlikely alliance of Agarkar and the new cap Karthik gleaned 52 valuable runs for the last wicket. Agarkar had become something of a laughingstock in Australia for his run of golden ducks, but there was no sign of that form here as he reeled off 8 boundaries, mainly off Klusener. Pollock ended the excitement by removing Karthik's middle stump, his second wicket, which left South Africa a total of 225 to pursue.
A swing, good shot, beautifully played.
So confidently did the opening pair of Gary Kirsten and Herschel Gibbs launch South Africa's reply that India's score looked totally inadequate. The 50 came up without loss, and Gibbs in particular was finding the gaps and collecting the boundaries. Having tried his 4 best bowlers without effect, Tendulkar brought himself on and immediately got his man, finding Gibbs's edge. Ganguly took the catch. From 89 without loss, South Africa crumbled. Kallis was fooled by Kumble's line and popped a catch to silly point. Cronje went second ball, meaning he'd only managed 1 run in his last 4 test innings, and Stridham tamely drove Karthik to mid-off.
Chance at mid-off, and Karthik has got his first wicket in Test cricket.
A brief rally between Kirsten and Klusener, lasting 10 overs, ended when Kirsten was bowled round his legs by the mercurial Tendulkar, who then lured Pollock into a dreadful pull stroke 1 run later.
He's going to be dismissed here. He's not timed it.
The Proteas' much-vaunted middle order was in further tatters when Boucher presented Mongia with his 100th catch in Tests, and there was more delight for the home side when Klusener became the first of Srinath's 3 late victims by edging to slip. Srinath cleaned up the last 2 wickets in emphatic style to complete a most un-South Africa-like collapse of 10 wickets for 86 runs. India had no chance to bask in the comfort of their first innings lead. Donald removed Laxman for a duck, and Pollock had Jaffer well taken by Klusener, filling in for Cullinan at first slip.
Chance here at first slip, and he's gone.
Tendulkar was once again called upon to rescue an early slide, but this time he was found wanting. His unlikely conqueror was Hansie Cronje, who nipped one back as the great man shouldered arms. As disappointed fans drifted from the stadium, Ganguly and Dravid set about a salvage operation, adding 49 runs in good time. But Pollock's reappearance from around the wicket drew Ganguly into error, and Klusener accepted his second catch.
That's a big wicket.
Jadeja looked out of his depth and was unable to see out the 9 overs before the close. India entered day 3, 5 down, with a lead of 124. That lead was extended by a mere 38 runs on the 3rd morning. Cronje was again instrumental, finding the edges of both Kumble for 4 and Agarkar for 3. Dravid, who'd played scratchily whilst watching 6 colleagues come and go, went for a pull shot that wasn't quite on, and it was 92 for 8. 4 balls later, it was 92 for 9, as Srinath's running skills let him down.
It's always expected when Srinath is there at the crease.
And it took a 10th wicket flourish from an ailing Mongia to get India past the 100.
This could go all the way. It has. What a way to bring up the 100.
Looking at the card, Mongia right down at the bottom after having been whisked off to hospital for x-rays, made 19. And, well, time will be the judge as to how valuable those 19 runs are. Dravid 37, Ganguly 31. And as for the rest, well, they hardly made a contribution at all.
Set a target of 163, South Africa cruised to 50 without loss. Mongia took a good leg side catch off Kumble to dismiss Kirsten, but Gibbs and Kallis moved the score into the 70s without alarm.
Well, it's well played. 4 runs, very fast outfield, a little bit too short that one from Kumble.
With the total at 76 for 1, a Kumble googly surprised Gibbs, who offered a simple catch. This brought the out-of-form Cronje to the crease, but he at last found his timing, and by the tea interval, only 57 more were needed. The evening session began dramatically. Cronje was smartly run out by short-leg Jaffa.
And in fact, Hansie Cronje hasn't even bothered to look at umpire Ben Katragavan.
And a nervous striding was taken at slip for 3. Then Klusener's attempt to calm the nerves with a boundary ended in disaster, as Srinath hung on to a steepling catch. 115 for 5 and 48 still needed.
He's got him, what a catch! That could swing this test match. That was a great catch.
Pollock's rotten batting form continued as Kumble's pace and flight deceived him, which left South Africa at 128 for 6 and suddenly in real trouble. Mark Boucher then arrived to play the decisive hand. All of a sudden, Kartik lost his length from over the wicket and the young wicketkeeper pounced. 4 leg side boundaries, all off the left armour, eased the pressure before an even better shot of Kumble brought the target down to single figures.
Here's the cut again, good shot, he's hit that beautifully for 4.
Kallis, who'd concentrated on mere survival as his partners were perishing, opened his shoulders at last, and the celebrations began when Boucher clipped his 6th 4 to seal a...
All of us that have been lucky enough to witness this test match have had a thoroughly good time. And don't forget the umpires. This has been a tough test match to umpire, and the 2 of them have done very well. This is the winning run, whipped away on the onside into the gap, fittingly by Boucher himself, and boy, didn't they enjoy it.
Yes, they've beaten India in every department, Tony, whether it was bowling, batting or fielding. Good batting by Kallis, he was very patient. Mark Boucher really turned the tables when he came on to bat after Shaun Pollock was out for 128.
Kirsten 20, Gibbs 46. Kallis played a very good innings for his 36 as well. 129 balls, he was there for a long time. Cronje straight on, Klusener all tried hard, Pollock didn't quite get there. They started to look in trouble when those wickets started to fall, but then Boucher came out and he played a wonderful innings, 27 or 32 balls, and that took the South Africans to victory. Kumble bowled beautifully, 4 for 56 of 28 overs, and well, Murali Kartik